Hello everybody, this is Glenda with Fralins and Friends, but not doing Shaking Hans Art tonight. So, over the years I've shared off and on that I do write, and I've written some books, I've read some poetry online, and I think I even read one book through, but that was early in my career with YouTube. And I've got a review that is printed on the back of the book after we revamped the cover. And so I'm going to read that to you. The first, well, I'll just read it. Okay. An author on a book tour gets trapped in a small town with a sinister innkeeper. Her only way out is to follow a shepherd on a perilous journey. Carla Sherman lived in Florida, and she read it. And this was her remarks. I couldn't put it down. If I had to give a really short review of this book, that would be it. It's fascinating in the best sense of the word. You just get curiouser and curiouser. Maybe you'll figure it out before the end, and maybe you won't. Either way, the journey is so intriguing that you will want to follow the path to the end. I loved it. My only problem is where to put it in my library. It's not really a romance, but it is romantic. It's not a mystery, and yet it contains the answers you need, though not to all the questions you will ask yourself. It is not historical, yet the characters' histories were written long ago. It is not science fiction, yet it alludes to the future, one you can depend on to be there. Just read it, it's good. D.I. Carla. And that one is called The Search by G.K. After that, well, there was a man back before we were born that lived here in the town where we live. And in fact, he built the house where we raised our family. And at first, when I heard about it, I thought, oh, stories. But actually, it turned out to be true when I did some research. It is written as a fiction based on real people, because this man was born in 1885. So there was just no way that I was going to be able to know the full history. And so his name in the book is Charlie Bueller. I've changed the last names and the name, slightly the name of the town. I kind of like Willa Cather's way of writing, because she uses the towns around her, even though she didn't specify Red Cloud as her hometown. Okay. In the early 20th century, Charlie Bueller holds his father's torn and dead body in his arms. Because of Charlie's dark skin, nobody wants to believe that he is indeed the true Bueller. Suddenly, a childhood game with his siblings, who be Charlie B, is who be Charlie B. Hate and bigotry drip from people around him. He probes his white grandfather Bueller for answers to his parentage. Will the answer of his color only open more questions? Then a new man enters his mother's life, Beale, a con man. He knows how to hold his hatred until after the wedding. Charlie must leave. Then his only true friend, Carl, nearly dies in a fall from the loft of the family barn. That's kind of a roundabout, but Yes, he was born dark-skinned to white parents. It happens. It did happen, even back then. It's not easy today. It was worse then. And the sequel to that is Finding Charlie, A Forbidden Romance. And so I'll read the back of that as well. Okay. In 1905, 20-year-old Charlie Bueller lost his father in a tragic railroad accident. Questioning his parentage, the family revealed a closely guarded secret. He finally had an answer to his dark skin in a family of white people and siblings. Book 1, Who Be Charlie B., covers these events in Charlie's life that lead to the coming of age. This book, Finding Charlie, continues to the young man's search for meaning and identity in a wider world, starting as a section hand on a rail gang in 1910. Tragedy strikes when a co-worker on a railroad section crew dies, saving Charlie's life from a sudden hailstorm. In helping file the railroad accident report, Charlie discovers his father's settlement papers cheated his mother badly. Refiling could help his family recover financially and help his family free themselves from the mother's unscrupulous second husband. Will Charlie find his way back to his family after being thrown out by his bigoted stepfather? In the midst of all the chaos in Charlie Bueller's life, a forbidden romance threatens to complicate things even more. I'm currently in the process of writing the third and final of that series. I'm up to about chapter 5, and then there'll be chapter 6. But now, Who Be Charlie B., the first one of that series, they read a portion of that on a radio show in Lincoln. It was Prairie something. It's been a while. When I get nervous, I forget things. But anyway, they only did samples. But they did a sample reading. It was very well done. But they did do a disclosure that there are a couple of words in there. I used them as sparingly as I could. And I don't like the word, but I felt essential for the historic reality of the book. Now this one, I'm holding my Kindle here. It is a book of short stories. And there's I call it 6 strange short stories. It's not very long. It's only available in electronic version. But I thought what I might try to do, I might just read you the first short part of the book, because there's more words than I could ever read in 15 minutes and make it any good. So the first one is The Tunnel. So from The Tunnel, I'm just going to read part of the first part of the book. We chose Devil's Lair Park, 40 miles north of our town, with high expectations. We had no idea the adventure would turn out into a nightmare. The Devil's Lair Park brochure boasted a nice nature hike, picnics, kids, park, or the spookiest tunnel ever. I don't know exactly the moment we stepped into that tunnel. But I know it was on a Sunday after church when the family was out for an afternoon walk. We loved our nature walks on Sundays. They allowed us time to bond as a family. We reserved Sundays after church, especially in the summer, for nature. My husband and I loved nature and wanted our children to experience firsthand instead of from some television show. The trip to the Devil's Lair seemed more of a fun family day than a purely educational one. The whole family made a unanimous vote. Our 3 children weren't old enough to protest yet. They nagged through the week about where we'd go the next weekend. We liked to find new adventures. I can promise you on the tunnel, it does turn out to be quite a new adventure. And there's others in here. There's one called Torterwood. That is a science fiction. My husband is a snigger like it's just a comic. It was kind of a way of I don't know, saying my husband's a dummy or something. I don't know. And Joe isn't. We all know that. But it was just fun. That's all it is. Dust. That's a little bit of a hair raiser. Bitten. It's kind of funny, kind of not. And then Thistles in the Corn. That one is a folksy style tale. And I know there have been a few people who've really liked that one too. So I hope that you will have fun picking these up and reading them. You can find them at Amazon. You can find them on, on smashwords.com. That's right, that's the name of it. Smashwords, that's one word.com. That it is where I've got all of these published there and on Amazon. So I hope that you will. They're all in electronic format, and they're also in print for all but the short stories. I haven't done any audiobooks yet. I'm not sure. I don't know quite how to go about it because I'm not very good at reading aloud, and even if it's my own words. I hope you guys, if nothing else, enjoyed learning that there's another part of me yet to be discovered. But I do hope that you will check these books out. They are listed in the descriptions. If you open up my descriptions, they are listed in there and where to find them. And they're available in almost all bookstores. So, mostly online. So anyway, yeah. I wish you a good night. Tomorrow, we'll be back to a short video. Well, for Thursday. And then we'll be coming back and we'll do something kind of Valentine painting. I have one more grandchild to paint for. So I love you. Smile and wave, and there's yours. And we'll see you then. Whenever then is. Good night.